Hello and welcome to another edition of Softline. I'm Nancy Banigo, and today I have with me the Funky Mama. Hello, Funky Mama.
Good afternoon, Nancy. Good afternoon, viewers. I've missed you all.
Yeah, I'm sure they've missed you also. They're
missed
wondering
them.
where you've been.
I didn't go to London to see the Queen. I was right here in town, nursing myself.
Yeah.
So, Nancy, I'm glad to have you around.
Yeah, nice to have you around too.
I always say, oh God, if I can make this today, I'll be very happy, and I must have broken this. Yeah.
Good to have you back. Thank you, Mama. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
So yesterday I saw a video trending online of a group of brothers that went to beat their in-law, their brother-in-law, for beating their sister. You know, when I saw this video, I was like, I don't know if it is a good thing or if but I was happy. So something inside of me was excited, because we've had cases of domestic violence. Yes. It's becoming so much that women are suffering in marriage.
And most of the times it looks as if they don't have anyone.
Yeah. So for brothers, you know, to just go and say, okay, and these brothers, most of them are married, you know, because we could hear from the background, some of them were like, if we could treat our wives better, why can't you treat our sister good? All right. So they were dealing with him. They dealt with him seriously.
No, I would have loved it, but I didn't see it.
Okay, so you also support that?
Yes,
right?
I do. Why not?
Oh, okay.
You know, because a lot of women are actually suffering more because it looks as if they don't have anyone.
True.
Yes, I mean, that's
true.
They don't have, so they just sit down there quietly. Who do I have? What do I say? They sit down there quietly and keep tolerating. That's how I feel. But when one shows that I have a family, and the family are there to support and encourage, the person is lifted. Next time it will not happen, except he kills her at night. Yeah, I'm thinking it's right. That shows love in the family. It shows no, nothing can happen to our sister in this era of.
You know, this is a very good one, and it resonates with me because I've witnessed such a thing with my auntie, my maternal auntie. You know, she has five brothers, though they are younger brothers. You know, she's the first daughter. You know, so once upon a time when we were growing up, we were quite small then. We heard that the 5 brothers, they didn't beat the husband. I think the husband touched her somehow. And so they went to the house to give warning. They didn't actually beat him, but they went in group. And you know, they were so big. They are so big. Those my uncles, they are so big. So they said they just went to the house, sat on the chair, called the husband, and gave him the warning of his life. That the next time they hear such a thing, he wouldn't like their action.
That's good. I mean, if men were to be behaving like this, there would be peace.
You can imagine it. You can imagine when we have men, you know, whenever something like this happens to their sister, and they go in mass, and then they go there to represent their sister, you know, to show these people that this woman is from somewhere. We have less of this domestic violence.
Yes, you know? I think so. But in most cases, some of these men behave the same way, so they can't go and support her.
Absolutely. So, and most cases, the women do not talk.
Yes, most cases they do not talk.
And when I went to the comment section, you know, Nigerians now, we react, the reaction is from both sides. Some were in support, and some were saying no. Some were saying if the woman goes to report her husband to the family and they come and beat the man up, that she might end up forgiving the husband later in future, because of course, you know, husband and wife, they will find a way to settle some of them. And if she forgives her husband, her family will never forgive the husband. So there's this hatred they will have for the husband. So it is always better you don't say these things. You just settle it with your husband. But the question is, supposing she didn't survive to settle this thing.
To settle this thing. Because most times they die in the process. Not settling anything.
You see?
You know? I wouldn't even agree to that particular comment.
Okay.
Let them allow them settle at home without calling anybody or reporting. Not reporting. And tolerating all this, it results in negativity. It doesn't help the family. The children are affected because they don't see dad telling mommy, I'm sorry for what I did to you. Mom is down there at one corner crying once in a while. And then once when she sees her children, she wants to cover up. How long would that be? How long would that be? So I think, anyway, but I think it's good rather not to really go and beat the person up. It's better to talk about it first before any other action is taken.
Yeah, then if after talking and it
doesn't stop,
then you deal with him.
You deal with him.
In fact, I love that koboko. You need to see the way they were flogging this man. Yeah. And the wife was also begging the brothers, like begging them to please stop. It's okay. But the brothers, I think they've had enough of it.
I think so.
They dealt seriously with that man. But I don't know what the reaction would be from this husband. Would he now end up treating the wife better? Or would he so you reported me, right? So it will now make him do. I don't really know.
Would he do more? If he's a good person, he will adhere to
the warning and the beating.
And the beating. And say, please, let's have peace. I don't want trouble. You're my wife. All of that. Our men sometimes are too hard. They're too hard to handle their wives.
That's it.
Even as that, the woman was still begging.
Yeah, she was still begging. She was still begging. Anyway, the bottom line is you don't keep quiet in the face of domestic violence. Whether you're a man or a woman, you have to speak out. You have to speak out. I mean, that's the advocacy. We're always talking about it here. You keep quiet, you die in silence. There are a lot of channels you can make this report, and there are better ways to handle them. If you make the report, it might not necessarily be beating your husband, but there are better ways now to handle domestic violence. You don't need to die in silence. All right, so we'll go on a very short break, and when we'll come back, we'll introduce our guests as well as our topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Now here's some exciting news. ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms on Avo TV app, ADBN Channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Limex World TV app, ADBN TV. Get the latest news straight to your phone. Join our WhatsApp channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across our social media handles on X at ADBN_TV, Instagram at ADBN_TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV_NG, and keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
Step into the heartbeat of the world where news meets real talk. From breakthroughs in diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones, Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I am Amma Marcus. Be a part of the world unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Edohoeket Broadcasting Network.
Say your voice get power.
What they promise us is let the breathe air, and the air will find out that we, the poor masses, are breathing is dustbin air. This solar can cause a lot of havoc that every day I have to be treating malaria, I have to be treating diarrhea. It's very, very unfortunate that we are all Nigeria and we are suffering ourselves like this.
Use that power on top people they talk with boldly. Make your voice take the lead. Call me, make we yarn. People they talk with Bongi, Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. only for ADBN TV.
Welcome back and thanks for being there. So today we are talking about one of the most crucial aspects of parenting, raising independent children. As parents, we want our kids to grow into confident, self-sufficient and resilient individuals. How or who can thrive? Resilient children who can thrive in an ever-changing world. Our world is ever-changing. I mean, today we are here, tomorrow we are there. So we want children who can fit into this ever-changing world. But how do we strike the right balance between nurturing and independence? So joining us today for this crucial discussion is Dr. Edohoeket Eshiet. He's a clinical psychologist who will share expert insight and practical strategies on how to raise kids who are equipped to take on these life challenges with confidence and determination. So let's dive into this discussion, Doctor. Our very own doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you.
It's been long.
Thank you, my grandma. Sorry
so
that.
long.
Yeah.
Oh
Welcome
my
to the
goodness.
show.
Thank
The
you.
way you
man.
emphasized the long, like
Yes,
Yes,
it's
it's
been a
been-
while.
yeah.
I mean, more than a few months.
Few months.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. The good thing is that grandmom, you look so refreshed. So sometimes it's good to
that's
retreat.
good.
It's good to
Good to
retreat.
know.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's start this discussion. I'm glad I have very mature parents in the house with me today. Yes, Funky Mama,
Yeah, babe.
and there's a clinical psychologist and also a father, right? So there are mistakes that parents do make, I don't know, when raising children. If you could mention some of those mistakes we make that hinder our children from being independent and how we can manage such situations.
Thank you. When you send the topic for this course, I had to sit back to look at it. When you say raising independent children, so I was looking at that word independence because it could be misunderstood.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank God when we were looking at this, the narrative, we saw the word confidence and resilience.
Yes,
So that's what we needed to look
to
at,
play.
because the independence simply means that you are not under the control of someone or some people. So it's more of that I am in my own world. So that's not the idea of the discourse. The idea is raising children that they can stand at every age appropriate level of their growth to face the reality of life, be self-sufficient to take decisions, and then become useful to themselves, to their family, and
to the society at large.
And for the fact that you said children, I know even if you are 40, you are 90,
Yeah,
as long as you have your
child.
father, you said, my children. But within this context, we are looking at those that need the nurturing, because you said the word raising. That raising means it's like cultivating. It's a farmer's work. It's intensive. It's raising. It's nurturing. It's grooming, and that means you have to watch over with vigilance. So, what are the things that we need to understand raising children? The thing is that children are growing not to stay in the family. They are growing to evolve and move into the life society.
Okay.
And we need to give them that capacity to make those decisions. That's why you see a transition in adolescence. That they will certainly not talk to you, but want to talk to their peers to get what? Validation and approval. So what do we need to do? One, as parents, you should not be overprotective.
Okay. Overprotective.
When you're overprotective, that child loses the capacity to be individuated. That's to be a person with a distinct identity.
Okay.
So the child needs to be allowed to grow, to take decisions with guidance, but it must be age appropriate. For example, there comes a time you shouldn't dress the bed for your child. No matter how messy that room is. But you know, sometimes you don't have the patience. You do it. The child has to do those things.
You don't have the patience to watch.
Wait to watch your child. So you just want to fix it. You want everything. So then they have to lace their shoes.
Okay.
There comes a time that the child should be able to make tea for himself or herself. Should be able to take taxi, take bus. Should be able to do those things. You expose them gradually. You can, for example, your child should know how to go to school on his own. So what do? You enter the bus, but he takes the lead. We are stopping here. how much you see how the person is doing. You need to give them that authority, that privilege, little by little. So don't overprotect, because when you do it, you clip their wings. It's like trying to prevent a butterfly evolving from cocoon. Then another thing is, you should not also overexpose them.
Okay.
You know, there's a difference between a mature child and a spoiled child. I keep on saying this thing. He's very immature. No, that child is only insolent and spoiled, because sometimes they throw them into a situation that is not age appropriate. But the child will still grow to fill that vacuum, but he doesn't have ability to make decisions.
I'm a bit confused here, because I know I've heard those words. Ah, the boy is mature, but he's a child, but he's mature. So,
you know, because you have to know, as expert, what is maturity?
What is maturity?
It's not the physical growth. The mental is there, the emotional, the social, even the spiritual. Be able to know what is maturity. Ability to know the consequences of a choice.
Okay.
And then when you take that choice, you don't run away from that consequence.
You face it.
You face it.
But that's not what I'm trying to say. You know, we've had children talk, and then you wonder, like, this boy is speaking like, you know, like he's coordinated, he's mature, more mature than his age.
The thing is, you know, with the age we are in, there's exposure to a lot of information, interaction. The family circle is not like we grew up, that you are at the back. You don't come forward to when your parents are talking. There's always a gap. They will just look at you, then you move back. So now children are brought into the space of adults. So what they do is that they mirror the discourse of adults, adult terminologies.
True.
And then I'm writing a paper that I want to present in 2 weeks' time. So there's a concept I have coined, mediaization that replaces socialization. You know, socialization is that an adult mediates my growth, my exposure to normative principles of our society. But now media has taken over that place. So instead of being socialized, we are media-sized. In other words, we are thrown into an avalanche of what? Behaviors and concepts that doesn't have the handle of a man, a grown man or woman to actually guide us. So we just go into it. So the child speaks not because that child knows the import of what they say. It's just a mirroring. They're trying to throw back reflection of the society. They tune channels to this particular station they hear. So they have picked those things. They read novels. There's exposure to words. So they just mirror, but they cannot actually internalize. When you ask the parent to sit down, okay, this thing I've heard you said, can you tell me more? The child doesn't know. So it was not knowledge, it was just a reflection of the society.
True.
So don't overindulge, don't overprotect, and don't overexpose. It should be age appropriate. For example, my daughter is 12 years. So it would be irresponsible for me to put her in an airplane to go and visit people in Lagos. So when you go there, don't worry, just call the PQ. It's an irresponsibility. But some people will put it and come and post, oh, my child is 12 years, was able to board flight in a year and got to Abuja. That is a responsibility for a 12-year child, because it's not a crisis. Or you put the same child in a taxi. When you go to Delta, just call. No, it's an irresponsible. In fact, that parent should be locked up. But if a parent does that, you know, they will hear, he has raised the child. No, that is negligence. Because the child cannot understand the magnitude of that journey. If something happens, can she make a mid-course decision? For example, we travel, there's a breakdown. You may decide to wait until there's a transloading, or you take another decision. Can that child do that?
Handle that situation.
So most of the times we do and people are hailing is actually something that should be reproved in the society. So raising children does not mean throwing them into a situation of a dilemma that they cannot have a mid-course decision if it comes to that. So what is maturity? That the child is allowed to be a child, but is exposed to appropriate thing a child at that age is supposed to do. Like sweeping. At the system, you know, the child should be able to sweep, to mop this facility if it's at home. So the child should be able to do that, and you see the result. So that's what we need to do. So you should not be overindulgent. You should not be alienated from your child. Then also, you should not be over bearing, authoritarian. When they're too authoritative with the children, authoritarian, they internalize anger and they're looking for escape. That's why once they get out of the house, maybe at 18, they don't come back. And you also should not be laissez-faire. whereby you have easy rules that people can just break. So what you need to be, you have to be authoritative. Authoritative parenting has been found to be the most. What is authoritative? Warmed relationship, but boundaries are spelled out. And the boundaries have consequence, and you know why it should not be done. But when it is done, this is the consequence. You have the right, to go out with friends.
Well, you said it has been found to be the most effective.
Effective, not authoritarian, authoritative.
Authoritative
Parenting.
Yeah.
Well, it's a thin line between being, kind. I don't know. I don't think kindness is the word now. To balance it, setting boundaries and allowing the child.
Yes, you set boundaries. What's the boundaries? Okay. Maybe you are 18 or 19 or 20. You can go out with a family vehicle.
Okay.
But everybody should be home by 9. For example, this house, no matter where you go, everybody should come back by 9.
Okay.
If you are not home by 9, for example, you won't use the family car again. And on no occasion should it happen, except something happened and you let us know that made you not to come. So you have freedom, but know that there is a limitation. Wow. So you are not afraid to be part of family, but then there are limitations. That's authoritative parenting. Very warm, you listen, but then, boy, girl, if you do this, if you have not washed the plate the first time you eat, when it is time for the second meal, you wash that or you stay hungry. Not that another person, no matter you have to do it. So that's authoritative. You are not laissez-faire, but you put boundaries. Because that is what the society is built on, boundaries. School is built on boundaries. This office you're working is built on boundaries. So we have the liberty to work here, we love, but then there are certain things the GM wants us to do. If we don't do it, it looks over our shoulder.
All right, before Funky Mama comes in, please, let's just talk a bit more on these strategies. I love the authoritative, or are there other ones, that parents can, imbibe to help bring up independent children?
This is what happened. Children parenting style is a function of their age grade.
Okay.
You can't bring democratic principles to a child of 5 years. What does he know? The child says, he doesn't want to lock the door. You don't need discussion because you know the danger of the door not be locked. So that one, you can't bring democracy with a child of 5 years.
True.
So you have to put boundaries. But when the child now grows, by the time you enter teen, because the most turbulent time for the child is 13 to 19. Because when once they're 18, they have universal suffrage. So they feel they should pull out. So that time, because they are just becoming real adult, by the time they enter mid-20s, they begin to know that things are not as they assume. So what do? You need to vary. There's a time as they begin to grow from their 13th, their cognitive development is there. They think, like all those people, this boy talks adult, no. But they don't know the reverse aspect of it. So you begin sometimes listen to bring the democratic listening. What do you say? Listen to the opinion. When you tidy it up, you now make a decision with a superior argument. But you know that by the time you get to that point that the child then take, okay, what do you want to do? The child should be able to understand it. So you vary it. So you have authoritarian parents, which is not very good. Because it doesn't allow people to express their opinion. What they do is that you have people conform and keep quiet. And once they have a leeway, they become themselves. Then laissez-faire is that very few or easy rules to break. Do as you like. And the child doesn't understand the consequences of those things. Then you have the authoritative. Then, like I said, you have the democratic side, which in between, okay. Then one of the things is that supportive. Then the other styles of family, we have family that are very enmeshed. Everybody, you don't know, people lose their personality. It's not a family you go that people are not themselves. They are so meshed that you just don't see distinct personalities. They are just meshed like one person. They are so entangled. Also, it's not helping people to be their real self. And there's some family that are so alienated, too much gaps. So it's like a parliament, just enter and go. So the thing is that we need a thin line of warmth, support. And what is a home? A home is a place that I do wrong, but I cry back.
True.
Get the point? I am wrong, but I still cry back. The boy say, well, my father has a lot. Let me go back to my father. And when he came back, the story in the Bible, the father said, this boy was lost to come back.
All right, doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you, Mama. You want to come?
Yeah, I wanted to, before your first question, you know, and doctor made a mention of, I was trying to rearrange the topic, what it should look like, instead of raising independent children.
Okay.
So I was looking at the consequences of raising a child.
Okay.
I would say raising a child to be over-independent.
Okay.
Because if you say a child is already independent, what is the essence of raising the child up? Do you understand? Do you understand?
No.
Yeah, you do understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you say the consequences of raising an over-independent child, a child that probably the parents must have thought that they have brought him up enough
to let him go.
To let him go. So if something happens, you find it very difficult to bring him back
to correct.
Because the child had already felt he or she is good to go. Everything is fine. I'm very intelligent. I'm able to do everything. Like using the word mature. Using the word mature does not, even if the child is 30, 40, they are not. Some of them are not matured.
And that means they were spoiled when they were raising them. You know.
Some of them do not have the IQ to grow in line with their age.
Okay.
They might look bright, like someone and even say, oh, that child is mature. But the child is not, because the child does not have a complete IQ to be able to take certain decisions for himself.
Okay. You know, I'm beginning to see some threat of overbearing parenting in what Funky Mama is saying. You know, some parents who, no matter how grown their children are, they never grow old in the front of their parents. So I don't understand if Funky Mama is one of those parents, like, even if you are 50, you are still a child and you're not mature.
You're not mature.
I don't know if, doctor, is that...
You know what?
Okay.
Okay. Let me take from this angle. It's like when you do recruitment, there's some people don't understand the difference between work history and work experience. You tell someone, what's your experience? He said, I have worked in AZ for 2 years. That is not experience. That is your work history. What is experience is an encounter in a situation. I learn something that helps me when I meet something of that nature. I use that knowledge to work there or to solve it or something near to that. So what is experience? My experience is, I have led a 200-man team to do X, Y, Z, and I was able to work with people of multilingual context. And that has given me the ability to what? Listen to different opinions. So I'm bringing it. That's the experience, not working there. So what is maturity here? Maturity is not the physical appearance of a child. It is the context and situation the child have encountered, take a decision, come back with an appropriate answer, and that become what? A basis for him to enter life tomorrow. Most of these children have never taken any decision. They have not faced, so everything is done for them. And when the chips are down, for them to choose between A and B, they don't know, because they were shielded. So they are only grown up, they are not matured. Because maturity is encountering a situation, making a decision, coming with a feedback that is either positive or negative for you.
Okay. All right. So let's go on a very short break. Let's go on a very quick short break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, thanks for being there. So I got carried away with those.
The quotes.
Yeah, they are lovely
Oh,
quotes, I
dear.
must say. Okay, so we'll continue with the discussion, but let's take some few messages first, then we come back with the discussion. We'll have our first tweet here, and it's from, well, I don't know what that name is. And she said, one of the hardest truths we need to sit with, especially as mothers, is this: your children are not yours to keep. Okay. Raise your children to be independent, not just independent in general, but independent of you. That doesn't mean you stop loving them. It doesn't mean they shouldn't rely on you when they are young, but it does mean you prepare them to think for themselves, make decisions, take responsibility, and eventually build life where your role
It's guidance.
is guidance, not control. Okay. Too many of us confuse love with attachment. Yeah, we are coming to that.
that's
Love and attachment. We pour our entire being. I think there's a continuation, but okay,
a long one,
let's
yeah.
take that. I will have this other one from Sunita, and she said, teach your children how to become independent, how to be brave, and how to face adversity in life. Start teaching this when there are little boys and girls. It's a long process. We'll learn it just by watching our parents, our home situation, time we're hard then. Yeah. Okay, so today's kids are privileged and they don't know what hardship means. By the time they are coming out with a professional degree, they are good academically, but don't have the mental force
That's
to
what
face
you're
the
saying.
ruthless world. They don't know how to deal with crisis at work or in their personal life. They struggle at that time to build some inner resilience. Why not parents teach them this early itself? Okay, so and how should the parent do this? By not micromanaging the child. Allow them to spread their wings, allow them to fall, teach them to rise, allow them to face their own small battles, but step in when required. The parent should observe and zip his hands, his lips and hands. The child will eventually sort out this problem. This creates steady confidence in the child. Well, I think this parent just said it all. Yeah, so we're coming to that, attachment. Now, how do you draw the line? Being over, getting so attached to your child and giving your child that independence that child needs.
Yes, you see, you can't give what you don't have. So sometimes most people are insecure. They have not resolved a lot of their fears and dilemmas, so they transfer it into
raising their children.
And you know that marriage doesn't cure your insecurity, it only exposes it. And so most of us, like that tweet we saw, we raised from different, we are people of the last century raising children of the new century.
Absolutely.
So there's a clash of 2 centuries. Because an average parent of today should be about, for the man 40, for the woman 30. So that's 2 dimensions of centuries. Attachment, when people are too you born, one of the things that makes people to be afraid to let go is that they know they didn't allow these children to grow. You hear someone, I work in a university, so someone bring a child, you're bringing a child that is on the age. Oh, this my little boy will not be able to make it. If he's a boy, he shouldn't come to the university. So you know that he's not supposed to be there.
So why did you bring him?
Why did you bring him? You want your child to marry and say,
parents,
19, oh, my little girl, I hope she will not die. So before, why should he marry if she's a little girl? And you're afraid that you can't go into the marriage and stay. And you want to make so that tells you that you just know that something was wrong. Because that, like I said, this child has not taken decisions. Good that the homes of today and average parent today, we are well to do. We thank God for that. But we have, the child does not do anything. He doesn't take decisions. The child doesn't cook, he doesn't sweep, he doesn't do anything. And then suddenly, the child, like he said, is entering a ruthless world. This concept of private estate, private clinic, private this, private hospital, private school. There's no private public. And suddenly the child enters
the public.
There is no private public. You now have to start. So they now say, in our house, I didn't used to, because the guy never took decisions. So what do? Let's allow children to fetch reality of life. When they take responsibility at the home, give them work, let them do something. And that's why I like these, our Igbo contemporaries. The child comes back from school, he goes to the mama's shop. Even if he's an undergraduate, he goes and starts selling, taking responsibility. You'll be surprised to see a child knows everything in that shop, but he's just coming from school.
Yeah.
That is, sometimes they just intentionally will leave the shop for the boy to see how you managed. That's responsibility. So sometimes the bond is not because the mother, the father loves the child. It's just because he's afraid there is a lacuna, inability to face life. Because now the child, like I said, has moved from private estate to a public world, to a hostel that nobody's watching over their back. I have a student, I will say, oh, I didn't come for exam. Why? He said, nobody woke me up. I say, it's not here. Yes, it happens. He said, nobody told me that it's time for exam. Because that is where he's been brought for the last 15 years, 16 years. Never did anything. So sometimes that bond is not love. It is insecurity expressed by saying, this boy or girl will now be swallowed up by what? The cruelty of the society, because he was not exposed. So we need to allow this child. And sometimes other thing comes into, if it's an only child, the mother hen syndrome. If it was a child of someone married late or even married early and the child came later on, there is a protection. Or if we don't pray for the parent, maybe there had been a mishap somewhere, they lost one child. You know, now there is that mind, no, this one has to be protected. So there's so many things that can make that protection, that's so protective, that something will happen. But like I said, if we rest them with the best method we know, we'll be able to stand prayerfully and hopefully and allow them being released into the world. And when they need us, they fall back. Because they must have to be released.
You know, I just remembered one saying by Cosmos Maduka. I listened to one of his preaching when he said, when he was 11, you know, his father allowed him to ride a bike, a motorcycle. They gave him that freedom to do that in his own time. But now his son is 16, but he's afraid to allow the boy drive the same bike. But you know, the son being who he is, he had to go learn secretly to drive the bike. So today, he's now going on a bike ride with his son. That he didn't allow the boy to learn, but he's enjoying the whole thing now. So the boy had to go secretly do this without the knowledge of the father. But the father, at the long run, is enjoying the whole thing.
Even though he was scared.
Even though he was scared. So there's this thing we do now. We hide under the excuse of insecurity. We hide under the excuse of we don't have money for hospital bill in case he gets injured and all. So all those things, you know, becloud our sense of reasoning. Now we protect these people. It's not like we don't want them to be exposed, but we are afraid what could happen from this exposure. You know, allowing your child go to boarding school. We hear stories of things happening in boarding school. We are afraid because we don't have the energy to face this crisis when they come. So we cage them, maybe do day school, I beg, I don't have energy for boarding school. So to an extent, our fear is justified, but I don't know.
You see, the thing is, like the case in point, Dr. Maduka, his village, there was no tar road.
Okay.
His village, you can know in a year you won't see a vehicle.
Okay.
So all he had was sand. So even if he falls down from the motorbike,
he will not enjoy it.
He won't enjoy
will not be much.
But now, his compound is hard. Then the number of vehicles on the road in front of their house is more than that was in his own state, a whole state then. And then the level of people, behavior, disposition. You know that in the, like 50 years ago, go and check the record of accident. You won't see a Mercedes-Benz having accident. Because people who drove it were very, very well respected. But today, if you check the people that have accident, it is the latest car in town. Because people who drive don't think somehow. They just drive like that. So it is not because of the fear. Other variables have heightened the fears of murder. Did you hear that any child was molested in the village coming back from school? Some of them, they would travel 2 villages to school. But today, the same person you ask them to drop your child wants to save the child. So the society has shifted.
Yeah, true.
And so just like the bird says, since hunters have decided to shoot without stopping, we will also be flying without pitching. So because the society has become a bit turbulent, that we have to add vigilance to care.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You get the point? Because like that bike, if he had wounded himself, it would have just been one small wound. But now if the boy falls on the coal tar, other cars can even rush him. Bandages. So
bandages and everything.
So the fear is justified.
Yes. And then the youths in every generation is becoming more heightened in their level of risks.
Absolutely.
Risk taking. And so, but the truth of the matter is still that the Bible said, a man shall leave his father and mother. That is, a child is going to leave us. And we have to be ready to prepare them, expose them gradually. You know, now I don't go to pick my child from school. She comes back on her own.
You're 12 years?
Yes.
Okay.
She just stand there. You just stand there, enter, drop her there, enter the house. The very first day I took her to my office and I put her in a tricycle. Do you know I was calling the house like...
okay, so, now you still have the fear.
But after some time, working with her, we dropped, we did. Now, I don't go back. Because I know now that she understands that terrain.
Yeah.
But it would have been very wrong, that just first time, that first term. Is it not this place? Just go, no.
Okay. So you taking back the word, because I remember initially you said it will be irresponsible of a parent to send a 12-year-old child, because if something happened on transit, you will not be able to take.
So that's why I said I had to be going with her. She now understands what to do, and I've watched over time, first term, second term, this third term, I don't do that again. Okay. Because she has mastered the terrain.
Okay. Yeah, we don't try to do that for 2 times.
Yes.
We've tried.
Thank you, Mama.
That's the only thing you have left after all everything I think.
All right, thank you, Mama.
So you expose and then you pull back. So that's it. But sometimes that we abdicate that role in the names of civilization. There's no thing like civilization when it comes to raising them. What happens is that let's have gradual exposure. They know we are there, and allow them to make their little mistakes and they build, because you can't catch them. Like that woman said, they will grow out to be.
You know, I sometimes, most parents, when they do this thing, is as a result of where their mental state is. You know, I was wondering, how can parents better manage their stress and anxiety, you know, in bringing up the children?
Yes, very good. Every generation will have its peculiar factors that mediate how we live. What am I trying to say? I could remember just 30 years ago, I was still out of school, or about 40 out of school. Children will come back around that area, and then sometimes the aunties will keep their food in my home, you know, we just leave around. So there's, when it's on come, they just keep their food. So when they come back, you're the only adult around, so you just give them their food and they sit down there and eat it and when they come back. And there was no crisis. You don't have matches, you know, and you just go to someone's place, they give you one matches, you come and light the thing. But you know, I think we have moved away from that good nevertheless. And now selfishness has become, so we are trying to extract a livelihood at the expense of people's security. Why should you sell someone child? Why should you just do the things that are not? So those things, so as those factors come in, you now have to modify the way we live. So now we are extra vigilant. So that extra vigilance means that put necessary protective measures around your children. For example, a simple thing like, okay, you are going for your friend's birthday, good. when are you people going to come back? 6:30. So by 4:30 you remind. So now you said 4:30 you come back. Then by 6 you call. That is you doing checking. So for the fact he knows that the one guy will go here by 5:30, you tell their friend they're coming back. Sometimes you see a parents, okay, they have cars, but they won't allow them. Okay, I will drop you at your friend's party. So that if you don't want us to drive, don't come. Why? Because they know that when you are there, they will not be able to express.
Free.
Are you going to checkmate them? So sometimes you see parents say, okay, fine, I'm going with you. Don't worry, I will take you there. One, to them, they resent it, but behind their back, they know their father loves them. He's looking for their best. But because they may feel belittled in the eyes of their parents. Your dad is always following you around now. You're a big girl. But what happens is that boy knows that my father is behind me. So that call alone could be the only thing that can change a decision at the odd moment. So not that you have to keep on trailing them. At a certain stage, you will see how they unfold. And you know that by this time, Ijoma can take this decision, can do this, can do that. And then you cheerfully allow them to go. But once they feel that you have to build their self-worth, let their child know that they are the very best God has made them to be. And this issue of wanting every child to have A1 parallel with their brothers is not good. Every child has a major strength. So now school is closing today, tomorrow. So they'll be fighting many houses. Your brother did this. No. You have to understand. He may not have A. It does not make he's not a bright student. Maybe he didn't put effort or he doesn't like that subject. So that because once he feels that he is incapacitated, it's going to affect his self-worth, his esteem, and the way he grows. Even when he finds himself in the place with his friends, he will not express because he feels he's not adequate. But when you let him know that he's adequate, they want someone in the class to do something, he raises his hands. Because he knows that his father, his mother always let him know that he's adequate. I got a story from Pastor Chris Eklumi. He said he was not as bold as people see him today. So he didn't used to answer questions in the class. But most of the time, all the things that were asked, he knew. Then all the boys that raised their hand, they didn't know it. But the teacher would like them.
Because they are participating
in the class.
When once they raise hand, according to Pastor Chris, they will give a wrong answer. But he knew.
But he doesn't raise
hand until one day it dawned on him that you have to raise your hand. And when he started doing it, the teacher now saw him as a bright student. And he now began to take lead. So let's build the self-worth of our children. Let's identify what is good with them. Let's cheer them up. We should be the right cheerleader. Not that we don't reprimand, we don't correct, but don't kill the ego of self and allow them to be. And one of the things is give your child responsibility. Simple thing like washing their clothes, ironing it, folding it, cooking today. What can they cook? Let them cook the Indomie and eat. Let them just do something, prepare things. That builds responsibility, and you keep on. You shouldn't be buying clothes for your 18-year child. Take him, let him go and buy his clothes and choose the ones he wants, except the ones you want as surprises.
Okay. And then you have to supervise because he might end up buying
you have budget now. If you want to buy this one, you bring budget. One woman said, that the one woman said something, he took the child to a shopping mall. The child has ATM card. She had. So the child was packing. What I was, the child packed things a lot. Okay. So he now says, how do we pay? He said, when we pay, he said, no, let's pay from that your accounts. I will replace it. The guy said, no, it's too much. Let's return the thing. So he now said, so this girl knows that spending too much money, the money will finish in her bank account.
So let us use mommy's ATM.
So when she once said, let's use her ATM, I will replace it. He said, no, mommy, that is too much. Let's reduce some. So from that day, she now learned that when she goes to the shopping mall, she doesn't pick everything because money will run out from the account.
Nice one, then. Nice one. Thank you so much, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. It's always an insight having you on the show. Thank you, Mama. I don't know if you have any last thing
I
you
would
want
have
to say.
loved to say one thing about totally raising up the child to be independent. I'm not saying raising an independent child. Totally raising up your child to be independent.
Self-sufficient.
Or making sure you make your child arrive at a goal.
A goal, yes.
Okay.
Making sure your child arrives at the goal. Because if you do not look at the goal, your child is interested to arrive,
Okay.
or what you also like to add to him to introduce, or whatever he likes,
Okay.
he might not be truly independent.
Independence.
Well said. Well said, Fatima.
And independence does not connote arrogance.
Yeah.
I think there's a thin line.
Yes.
There's a thin line. All right.
It's a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
We can talk over and over.
It's good.
And because of time.
I always love it. Were you to be a psychologist?
No.
Or you're just trying to recover from what you would have been and not a mass broadcaster?
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah.
I don't pass on that level now.
we put these are things that happen to us on a daily. You know, we read, we see things, we read newspapers, we see things like this. I say, okay, we have somebody like this who can come and tell us how to handle these issues,
Yeah.
and then we'll coin a topic from it, and then we'll bring an expert to talk on it. So that's how most our topic comes up. Thank you so much, Doctor.
You're welcome, Ma.
All right, so as we
Thank you,
wrap up
Doctor.
today's
Funky Mama.
conversation, let's hold on onto hope that our children will grow into strong, independent individuals, capable of chasing their dream and overcoming life challenges, because there are a whole lot of it. So thank you to our clinical psychologists for guiding us on this journey, and thank you to our wonderful audience for your support and listenership. All right, so from all of us here is bye-bye, and thanks for watching.
Goodbye.